Did I ever have a nickname? Well, yes, I've had a few actually. Mr. Pickle is one of them. I think Dolly Dye used to call me Mr. Pickle, but more recently, I am Nana. I am Nana to most people, and don't ask me why, you'll have to ask them, but I'm definitely Nana. Now, I've had many jobs, but the first job was definitely as a paperboy, when newsagents used to send boys and girls of school age out to deliver all the newspapers, come hail, rain or shine. At 14, I was bottling up in a pub, replacing all the bottles and things on a Saturday morning. And then after that, I was washing up in a restaurant, and then I got to be a waiter in a restaurant, and then I got to work in a jewellery shop, which is my next-door neighbour's jewellery shop, when I was 16. And then I sold fruit and veg in a department store. And then at 18, I got a proper job in telly. I am learning to play the piano very, very slowly indeed. So I like to do that, and I've got regular piano lessons that I go to. And then I also started doing some distance running a couple of years ago. So I did a half marathon and I did a 10K, and was able to raise quite a bit of money for a charity that my dad used to work for many, many years as well. So that was great, love to do that. So my dream holiday, I suppose, is a place I've been to many times, but not recently, and that's back to Hawaii. I just love Hawaii. It's supposed to be one of, the air is supposed to be some of the cleanest on the planet on the Big Island. It's so lush and green and tropical and so on, and just a complete getaway. One of my big heroes is David Bowie, who I managed to see in concert in the early 1980s, and one of my favourite songs of all time is Heroes by David Bowie. He was a legend. I think one of my favourite films is one I went to see with my dad in the 1970s, and it was great to see on the big screen at the time, and it was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Do you remember that? I remember when they've got the big dollop of mashed potato on the plate, and they're making that mountain of thing that they all have to go to, that the Richard Dreyfuss character goes to. I just thought it was such a wonderful, uplifting, positive film, but it involved aliens and planets and all sorts of things like that, and sci-fi that I loved at the time. So that was a great film from the 1970s, yeah. I think the best present I ever received was our beautiful dog, and her name was Shelley. She was a black and white border collie, and she arrived into our lives in the 1970s, and she had 2 litters of 7 puppies each litter, so 14 puppies altogether, and she was the most wonderful member of our family for around about 11 years. She was great. The funniest moment, I think, ever on TVSN was when Peter Mason was doing his all-night marathon, but we were all dressed up, and I was on air with him at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we both got the giggles. Now, picture the scene. Pete's in some sort of eclectic 1960s flower power frock thing, not akin to a caftan. I have got on a denim jacket, nothing underneath at all, and a pair of extremely tight flower-powered jeans, which belonged to our visual merchandiser, Karen, so they were women's jeans. I had a long wig on, so I was like a rock and roller, and sunglasses. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, Pete and I completely got the giggles and lost the plot. And I don't know how we got all back together again. I went home to sleep. He didn't. He stayed in there for another 30-odd hours.